Sure.
Welcome to another episode of the Hitting the Crew podcast, the show / podcast where we take a deep dive into the people behind Hitting the Field, UCF's student-run sports talk show in the Nicholson School of Communication and Media in Orlando, Florida at the University of Central Florida. Jeremy Brenner here. And today we got a good one, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Pop some popcorn, something like that, because you're going to need it for this one right here. Got the host, the one and only host of Hitting the Fields, might I add that Kyle Partain is in the building today. K-Pizzle my dizzle. How's it going, brother?
Oh, might I add, I am thrilled to be here. Been waiting to get on an HTC, so I'm looking forward to today.
Yeah, there you go. HTC.
HTC,
wow.
Get ready for that. That's going to be a thing.
HTC. That's...
I just start trends all day.
Yeah, you know? Just a trendsetter right there. Wow. I'm in awe. Absolute awe. But, you know, you told me you came in here today with very low expectations, zero expectations of what we were actually going to talk about. And those are usually, honestly, the best kind of podcasts. You kind of just... You know, no destination really. You kind of just drive.
Yeah, happy to just talk. I have no idea what the topic of conversation is today, but that's honestly the best thing.
Well, Kyle Partain, Hitting the Crew. It's all about you. We're going to be talking Kyle Partain for the next 45 minutes. Yeah.
A lot of people's.
And the thing is, you don't really got to study for it because you know yourself better than anyone. And you get to kind of, you know, show off and show your platform. So the first question I usually like to ask the guests of the podcast is, where are you from? You know, how did you grow up? You know, did you have siblings in the household? I might know these answers, but I want you to give these answers out to the listeners out there.
All right, so everyone involved at Hitting the Field probably knows this, but for all of you watching and listening, probably don't know, I am from the 904 good old Jacksonville, Florida, born and raised there.
Can I get a Duval? Can I get a Duval? All right, there we go.
Born and raised in Jacksonville, lived there my whole life until I came to Orlando for UCF. It's been... I like Jacksonville a whole lot. I got to go back pretty recently, and it was honestly way more fun than I remembered it. Big fan of just hanging out. Growing up, I was a very big beach bum outdoors kid out in Jacksonville.
Yeah. So, what's the best beach in Jacksonville to go to?
So, a lot of people will go straight out to Atlantic Beach, right? Because that's kind of the popular area. But if
someone from Duval, tell me what's the best place, what's the best beach to go to?
If you are not into crowds, if you don't like crowds, if you want to just go to the beach and you want to relax, take about a 20-minute drive south on A1A from Atlantic Beach. You'll get to a place called Volano. That is where you want to go.
All right.
It's very
Volano Beach.
Very relaxing. Relaxing.
All right. I'll keep that one in the old noggin.
Yeah. Oh, it's highly worth it. Highly worth it.
All right. Well, anyway, so you grew up all Jacksonville, born and raised. You know, you have any siblings or anything like that, or how did you grow up? How busy was that household, the Partain household?
Oh, it was extremely busy. I have two siblings. One of them is my twin. That is correct. There is another Kyle.
I've never seen you and the twin in the same room before. So,
oh, dude, that's
what if
fair. I think I'm trying to get him to come to Orlando at some point.
What if you are the twin?
Oh, switched at birth moment. Yo, that could be the case.
Have you ever thought that you've been switched at birth?
Oh, all the time. All the time. I'm like I mean, how would I know? How would anyone know? Like,
That's true. Like,
there's no way of knowing. Like, for whatever reason, my parents could be like, "Oh,
I might look like my parents, but
Ryan, Kyle, I don't know." So I don't know, but I like to assume I'm Kyle. I think it's got a good ring to it. But
so twin,
I got
identical twin.
So he just graduated last summer from the University of Alabama.
Mazel tov, roll tide, roll.
Yep. So he's currently in Jacksonville. Hoping to get him to come down to Orlando at some point, see him, hang out with him.
That'd be fun.
Then I got a little brother who's actually here at UCF.
I have met him. I have met him.
I remember you meeting him
once.
He's very cool. He's very shy though, so you got to get to know him before he's going to talk to you. But yeah, it was a busy household growing up. Parents and three brothers. No daughters. That couldn't be easy for them.
No.
It was a pretty rambunctious place.
I was also a all brother household, so it's like I totally get it. I mean, I only had my one brother, but I can only imagine how much more it would be with another one.
Whether it was making up random games and stuff where we're beating each other up or going outside and playing basketball.
Especially with a twin. I feel like everyone that has I can at least speak for all the non-twins out there. I've always been like, what would life have been like if I had a twin, kind of thing.
Well, as someone that can speak on behalf of both twin and non-twin, because I have a twin and a younger brother. That's true. You live best of both worlds. It's really weird. Everyone's like, Kyle, what's it like to be a twin? I'm like, it's just like having a brother.
I don't know.
I don't. Tell me what it's like to not have a twin.
Oh, I can tell you.
I don't know. It's
pretty normal.
That's what I'm saying. It's like just having another brother. I mean, except you see him, in middle school and high school. You're the same number. You're the same locker next to each other. So you see him all the time.
My 6th grade locker was next to two twins.
No kidding.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's not something I think about a lot, but now that we're on the subject,
that's the thing. You don't like. It's like having a regular brother. You see him in school, which is kind of weird, I guess.
Now, did you and Ryan hang out together, or were y'all in separate circles?
Definitely separate circles.
Okay.
At home, we were as tight as can be, and we were really close out at school. We were really close, but we had very different associations back in middle school, high school. Middle school was very, it's very middle school. I don't know how else to explain that.
Middle school.
Yeah. Then you get to high school, and then all of a sudden I'm in the running crowd. I'm with, cross country, track and field. I'll talk to a bunch of people. As crazy as this sounds, I had a friend group that loved to talk sports. I know it's a little ridiculous, a little far fetched.
Kind of crazy.
I may be stretching the truth here a little bit.
Wow.
But no, I hung out with my my running group, my set of friends. We were the cult. We were the cross country cult.
Oh goodness. And
then he hung out with, because he's a very, very smart guy. He graduated as the salutatorian of the class.
Is he smarter than you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That doesn't take much though. Let's be real. No. So he's hanging out with the very, very intelligent group, very well spoken, just a good group of people to be around.
Now, did you ever feel any pressure from that? He was the smarter brother.
I think it's hard not to.
Yeah.
I think it's hard not to feel any kind of pressure. So.
Did you always feel like you were comparing yourself to him in ways?
Personally, no. But I think other people look in and compare.
Yeah.
Especially, you can attest as having a brother, having a sibling.
Yeah.
There's always that comparison. Are you a younger or older sibling?
I'm the older sibling.
So there's always that comparison. Your little brother is going to be like, oh, you're going to be just like Jeremy. You're following in Jeremy's footsteps, right? That's with a sibling that isn't your twin. Now you're looking at someone that's doing the exact same things you're doing.
Yeah.
And then they're doing potentially better stuff. Like he's, salutatorian is like, man, I'm sitting here running.
Well, geez.
Yeah, but I mean, to me personally, I did not put much of a pressure on myself because I tried to avoid that kind of thing.
But I mean, that's a very mature way to look at it. But would you always feel that way?
Not always.
Was there what was the moment growing up where you saw things change? You kind of were just like, I'm gonna go on my own path.
So that's probably all of middle school to a T. Because middle school, I cared about,
as everyone does.
You care about your reputation. That's all that matters to you is middle school. And you hit that point, and then you see when I got on my report card my first ever C, and he's sitting there with all A's. I'm like, wow, I am so far below this
guy. Give me some test answers, Ryan. What?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I am so far below this guy.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. It's like, but why does that bother me?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying my own thing.
You think it's supposed to bother you, so you let it bother you.
Right. So that was probably the moment, my first C on a report card. That was probably that moment when I'm like, man, I am so different from my twin. Even though everyone expects me to be the same, I'm so different from him. And since then, we are pretty much our own, not even pretty much, we are very much our own individual persons, which is great. But then we're also, you have that twin bond. I mean, you grow up,
Like, can you, like, look at him and think the same thing without even speaking? Do y'all have that kind of relationship, or is it like...
No, but I don't, to be honest, I don't know a whole lot of people that do have that kind of relationship. I'm not sure that kind of thing exists if you're going from a purely Partain Express standpoint. I don't believe that kind of relationship exists.
So you go by the Partain Express. Does he go by the Partain Express?
No. This was... I've had many nicknames bestowed on me throughout the days, and Partain Express was one of them. I don't think his crowd was very much a nickname crowd.
You're Ryan.
Yeah, he's always been Ryan. I've been Kyle, Partain Express, Carl, Baby Bird. There's a whole list. It just keeps going.
Baby Bird.
Oh yeah. So I
talk about Baby Bird.
Back in high school with cross country, I would cut my hair short. We'd before the last race, we'd all buzz our hair all the way down. Some people would go bald,
my team's cross country, or my school's cross country is gonna do that too. I think
we did that before states, and whenever I would shave my head, it would look like a baby bird's down. So I got the nickname Baby Bird, and it was soft, man. I'm not gonna lie, that was some soft hair. Might do that again sometime.
So you mentioned cross country.
Yep.
When did you get started in cross country, and like why cross country?
So this is actually really, I brought this story up at my graduation speech from high school. From cross country.
Oh, okay.
There's a cross country speech.
Okay.
So going into high school, my parents set a standard. They were like, you need to do one sport so you can branch out, find some friends, and not stick with the same crowd throughout high school. And, me being the genius I am, this scrawny little dude, I was like 5'7", probably, maybe not even that tall going into high school. I'm like, I'm going to do football. And they're like, look at yourself, dude. You think you can do football? So I ended up trying out for the one sport that doesn't do cuts, which is cross country. They don't cut anyone.
Yay.
So exactly. And man, it sucked at first, but then, you start to get close with those people and it becomes a bond. It becomes a relationship, it becomes a family. Very similar to hitting the field, actually. I've felt that same kind of vibe here. But you mesh with people. I actually just hung out with some people from my cross country team this past weekend.
Very nice. So, like, before cross country, did you play sports growing up?
Yeah.
Did you like how was that relationship like?
So middle school, I was very much into sports. I did for the schools team. I played soccer and I played baseball, and then. Aside from school, so like rec teams, I would play basketball. I would play more soccer. I liked to play sports back in the day, not necessarily because I thought I was good at them, but because it kept me busy. And that to me is the best thing I can do.
That was my MO as well, kind of thing. It was like I played sport. I played soccer growing up. Like that was me. Yeah. I'd train 2-3 times a week. Go travel an hour to go play a game on a weekend.
Yeah.
I mean. Are we talking similar ways?
That's very much me. So, like before kindergarten, I'm talking like little kid. My parents made me play soccer, and that I probably played soccer for 10 years. Then that love for soccer kind of transformed into a love for basketball, and then I realized that was short. So then I played a little bit of basketball outside of school, but when it got to actual tryouts, I was never tall enough to make a team. And I definitely don't have the jump shot to make a team.
It's scary how similar our trajectories are.
Yeah.
Like I'm listening to you and I'm thinking like this is me. That's very scary.
I grew up with that passion for basketball right around the time of probably 5th or 6th grade. Once I started watching college basketball, March Madness was like that was the thing for me. Has always been the thing for me. Love that. So yeah, I transformed into a love of basketball. Got to high school, definitely was not good enough or tall enough. Emphasis on good enough to make the team. Yeah. So then
I played my 8th grade year. I made the team my 8th grade year. Actually.
Hey, that's awesome.
I was a center. I was a small ball center. The Rockets could use me. Yeah.
You get that post hook. Yeah, that's what I expect.
No, yeah, I was fantastic. I scored 2 points that whole season.
And those 2 points were the best 2 points of your career.
Yeah. It was on a real nice give and go pass. I could the memory is etched in my brain forever.
Oh, so you could literally tell me your surroundings. You could tell me.
Oh yeah.
I know this is about me, but I am kind of.
No, this is yours.
No? Okay,
I'll
another
tell
time.
you later.
Another time.
This is the Kyle Partain Express show. This is not the Jeremy Renner
All right,
show.
we'll take a listen to that.
The Jeremy
another
Renner
time.
show will happen soon, but I'm
Oh,
and as
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned.
Stay
but so yeah, okay. Let's talk March Madness a little bit. Let's go the sports route right now. We'll go a different route soon. But okay, because look, March Madness has a lot of iconic moments.
Oh,
what is
100%.
the one moment that you saw and you were like, this is incredible?
Now, this is very recently, but North Carolina Villanova for the national championship. Marcus Page, with about 7 seconds left, hits the most ridiculous circus shot to tie the game up at, 67, I think? And then I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's in the house. He's celebrating one of the greatest sports moments of all time. Marcus Page just made maybe the basketball play of the century.
It was amazing.
And then Chris Jenkins, thank you. Excuse me, Chris Jenkins. Not 7 seconds later goes down and hits a game-winning three. And I'm like, this is chaos.
So
and this is beautiful.
You know where that game was played, right?
Remind me. You gotta remind me. Oh, that was...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Guess who was there?
No.
Yes.
I'm not guessing.
Why not?
Because I actually don't know.
Michael Jordan was there.
Right?
Roy Williams was there.
Right?
Jeremy Renner was there.
Jeremy... Okay,
I was
guys,
there. I was there.
That is a trio right there.
I was there. That's
The Holy Trinity. That's just, you can't make this up, folks. You can't make this
amazing.
up.
No, yeah. I was there.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that to me
Etched
was
in my brain forever.
the moment, really the two moments that I realized college basketball is unlike anything else. And I've loved it. I fell in love with...
What, like you were into basketball before that. Like,
Yeah.
what was the one moment that you saw, like, as a kid, that was like, oh my goodness, like,
As a kid,
like that really piqued your interest?
Butler making two amazing runs to the Final Four and championship. That to me showed that it's not football. This is anyone's game. Anyone can make it. You could talk about George Mason. You could talk about all these Cinderellas in the past, in the recent years. Wichita State. You can talk Loyola
VCU,
Chicago, Sister Jean.
Loyola, Sister Jean.
That to me is what stands out aside from every other sport. Is you can be a nobody and you can still do great things. And that to me is like, that's more than just basketball. That's what's so exciting about March Madness. That's why you love it. And that's why I just think it's the perfect sport. The perfect like end to a sport. March Madness, just
it's
beautiful. Beautiful.
That's the second time we've done that.
Right?
Maybe I am your twin. Maybe that's what it is.
This is confirmed, guys. I'm pretty confident this is it.
Maybe we are switched. Maybe that was
the long separated at birth.
Maybe that was it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just found Ryan.
Or no, maybe.
Oh no, maybe I just found Kyle. This is starting to trip me out.
Yeah, I mean, but all right, let's go back. Let's detour this back here and let's talk about your life. Okay. So you get to why UCF? First of all, like what was that process like?
All right, so this is actually a pretty interesting story, fun story.
That's what we're here. Interesting.
I grew up in a household where my dad was a Gator alum, big Gator fan.
Yeah. So
by default, I like the Gators.
Right.
And I was never like as huge of a fan as he was, but don't get me wrong. If you know me, you know I love my team that I cheer for. So I was a big Gators fan growing up, and then we get to college, and I was pretty much dead set on going to Florida if they accepted me.
Right.
And so I threw out my application to 4 different schools. That's UF was first. UCF because it was relatively local, and I did tour them with Eric DeSalvo, and I liked the program.
Oh, you toured with DeSalvo?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was a blast. I got to go up on the stadium roof. Got to go all the way through into the press box.
That's interesting that he does campus tours. Do you think he still does those?
I don't think he does those for just anyone. I knew his family. That's why.
Okay.
So we knew their family.
Yeah.
But UCF.
Were y'all like close?
Yeah. My brother Ryan and his sister were very, very close. So that's how I knew their family. So
interesting.
Yep.
DeSalvo's sister.
Yep.
Okay.
Anna DeSalvo. Quick shout out to Anna.
Shout out Anna.
Yep. But yeah, so those two schools were my top two. And then right behind was Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
I got accepted to the honors college at Auburn, and I'm like, and then I toured it, and I fell in love with it. And Auburn quickly became my second choice. Mm-hmm. And then, for whatever reason, I decided to apply to Baylor. Didn't get accepted. That was fine. It was just, I honestly couldn't tell you, looking back, I couldn't tell you why I applied
Baylor
to
might have been the only school in Texas I did not apply to.
Yeah, looking back on it, I truly don't know why I applied for Baylor, but I just did.
That school for me is the University of Tampa. I applied and got accepted into the University of Tampa, and I don't know why.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just don't know
why.
why.
Why not? I might as well. I'm doing all these apps for everything else. But
so I applied to those four. Baylor quickly off the table. Yes. Auburn accepted me. UCF accepted me. Florida got back to me. I think February is usually when they get back. Late February. And I got put in the PACE program.
Yeah.
For anyone that's familiar with the PACE program.
Your waitlist, go 2 years somewhere else and come in.
Yeah, that felt kind of like a slap in the face. To me.
Oh, that happened to me at University of Texas, Texas A&M. The schools that I was really looking to go to.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, why would I waste 2 years of my college life at Santa Fe?
Yeah. Before
I go somewhere, when I can have two really good options between UCF and Auburn. Mm-hmm. So
it's kind of crazy. It was UCF Auburn.
I know it is really weird. So I threw UF out the window. It came down to UCF and Auburn, and then I came for another tour of UCF. This time of Nicholson, and I got to tour the studio. I don't remember. It could have been Jans that was in there. I honestly couldn't tell you who it was. It feels like forever ago. And I'm sitting here thinking like, man, I am never going to learn how to use all this equipment. Yeah. There's so much stuff. Mm-hmm. And then at that point in time, I'm like very much thinking I'm going to go to Auburn. Yeah. And then for whatever reason, I wake up one day and I'm like, why is this a decision?
Like, why Auburn,
UCF is close. Mm-hmm. It's got a great program for what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I have a foot in the door with athletics. Mm-hmm. Like, why?
That's the kicker.
And I literally just woke up thinking this one day. And I'm like, why is this shouldn't even be a decision for me. So that was kind of it. And there you go. The rest is history. I decided to go to UCF.
It's funny how Ryan goes to Bama.
Oh, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Marine biology, Ryan? Really? Tuscaloosa? No, I'm messing with him.
So that would have been interesting if he went to Bama and you went to Auburn.
I've thought about that so many times. And you know what? It would have been fine because I would have beat him twice. My school would have beat him twice while we were there.
And hey, UCF has beaten Auburn a lot lately.
You can say that. You can say that.
They got the win. Cal Partain picked them. So.
Yeah, I go 1-0. What can I say?
You did go 1-0. UCF did go 1-0.
I went 3-0 this weekend.
3-0 this weekend.
But yeah, that's the story of how I ended up at UCF. A very entertaining story.
That was a very entertaining story. So,
it was a long, drawn-out story.
So you're a UCF journalism student. Why journalism? Like, how did that start?
So I have always grown up wanting to do broadcast. Yes. That is something I always wanted to do.
Were you the kind of kid that would, like, watch the games and broadcast the games?
I would literally... No, I wouldn't say it. Like, I wouldn't be...
You'd say it in here.
I'm constantly thinking, like, man... So he's like, for example, take Duke, Carolina when, for whatever reason, like when Austin Rivers, right?
Oh my goodness,
this is ridiculous,
this
guys.
Is scary.
This is ridiculous.
Really scary.
I'm like, Rivers taking
this is really scary.
Half court, dishes it off, blah blah blah. McAdoo with the block, just ridiculous stuff like that. And I'm thinking, like, my brain's always been kind of focused on that. And then I grew up high school. I did the school announcements over the intercom.
Oh, really?
Yep, I did the school morning news for middle school. Ooh. Like, so I've always done.
So you've always been in that
some
realm.
Sort of
yeah.
And people say I like to talk, which that is true. I do love to talk. Mm-hmm. So that's always been kind of like where I wanted to go. Now there's no sports broadcasting program at UCF, so broadcast journalism was the next best bet. I guess
and that's how a lot of us. Yeah, that's how a lot of us are, really.
Yeah,
the people that are in our boat.
So that's how I ended up with journalism. I almost quit after news reporting.
Really?
I almost quit after news
reporting.
Why? Because news reporting, I didn't touch any of the equipment, any of the gear. And I realized how much I hate print digital. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here like, man, if this next course, if I don't get to use some equipment and go out and practice, that's it. This is not the right major for me.
So what would you have gone? Would you have gone RTV?
I probably would have gone RTV. Mm. But yeah, then ENG comes along, and I got to use some equipment. And I'm like, I can get better with this. This is fun. I can make this work. So now we're just Getting it done in nightly.
So now you got UCF journalism hitting the field.
Hitting the field.
So now, Kyle Partain, how did you get to hitting the field?
This is actually really funny. ENG. I am sitting in the class with Chris Wolf.
And you took ENG
Eddie
together?
Messel. And Eddie Messel. The three of us are in the same
man.
ENG class.
That's crazy.
And for whatever rhyme or reason, we get started talking about sports.
Yep.
And Eddie comes up to me after class. He goes, dude, you should come over to Hitting the Field.
Shout
we
out
have
Eddie.
meetings on
Love that.
Fridays at it was still
at
10 o'clock
10
then.
o'clock, yeah.
So he's like, meetings on Fridays at 10 in the morning, same room that we're in for Brown's ENG class. You should come. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You should come hang out. Just come talk sports. And so I came a couple times, and I was pretty quiet at first. I didn't want to start talking too much and make a scene. And then all of a sudden, I realized, like, man, this is exactly, tie this back to an earlier story. This is exactly like the vibe with the cross country team. It's like a family.
Yeah.
And since then, I've loved Hitting the Field.
Yeah, shout out Eddie. Eddie's doing some great things up in Montana.
Eddie is
right
doing
now.
some great things.
I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, proud of the guy.
Yeah, he was one of those people that, like, we started around the same time with Hitting the Field, and he always, for whatever reason, whether it was, class or internships or, he was the president of his fraternity for a little while.
Yeah.
He always, there was always something holding him from coming to the show, and
His
I
time management.
knew that he wanted to. But I knew that he was still doing what was best for him.
His time management was unbelievable for the number of things he does.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And then he moved away to Montana.
Yeah. Missing him.
Yeah. Shout out Eddie. I hope you're doing well. He probably is not listening to this, but
No.
we'll have to text him.
We'll hope so. We'll let him know.
We'll text him and be like, yo, listen to this.
That's a couple shout outs this episode. I like it.
Yeah. Is there anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to?
Mom, Dad, I'm always willing to give y'all a shout out.
Shout out Mom and Dad. So let's talk Mom and Dad a little bit.
All right.
Oh,
segue.
So yeah, no, I've done 6 of these now. I'm figuring it out. So describe your relationship with. You can start wherever with your parents and just how they have how they've impacted you from your younger years and now to where you're at now.
Yeah. So I have always, for whatever rhyme or reason, felt very, very close to my parents. And I'm not sure. So I grew up in a Catholic household.
Yes.
So it was very, very, very emphasized on family and just, I guess for lack of a better word, love.
Yes.
So everyone was very close knit, at least growing up in middle school. And then by the time we get to high school, that's when people start to, go their own,
kind of break off.
Yeah,
from it.
yeah.
But
I stayed close to my parents, both of them. Again, for whatever reason, I've stuck really close with them.
How many Sundays a year do you go to church? Did you go to church?
Did.
Like,
I used to go every weekend.
Okay.
Back when I lived in Jacksonville, I used to go every weekend. Now, not so much.
No, not so much.
Not as much. But
same. But
yeah. But again, I'm very close to them. I talk to at least one of them probably every other day, whether it's through text or call, just because, again, I mean, they've done everything to help me get here. So I can't talk. I can't talk to them enough, for lack of a better.
No,
comparison.
someone who you're grateful for, who the people that have been by you.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to do this, like this specific podcast, is because it forces us to really admire and think about the people that have helped us get here.
Oh, 100%.
Because you're not getting through this program, you're not getting through life without the people around you.
I'm not making it through kindergarten without people around you.
No way. No way.
It
really makes you think.
Oh, it does, and they're just they're great. They they still help with just about everything. It's I don't know.
Were they like is your mom like the stereotypical soccer mom kind of thing? Like how much of a soccer mom is your mom?
She used to drive a minivan. Yeah, she used to take us to soccer practice.
Wait, was it a Toyota Sienna?
It wasn't a Sienna. I'm
was it a Toyota?
It was a Toyota.
Oh my goodness,
absolutely.
yep.
But yeah, it was great.
The Toyota, the Sienna.
She would drive me to all the cross country events. She would go to them. My dad, when he wasn't working, he'd be there for all the events. He'd take us to basketball on the weekends. Like, they were always there, happy to help. They were truly invested in our lives. So I know when you're growing up, as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
that can be very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me live my life, but then like you look back and it's like, thank God they did.
Yeah.
Thank God they did, because like, man, I'm pretty sure like I'm turned out all right. I hope.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we hope.
Yeah.
Kind of, I want you to go back, and if there isn't a part in this life, like if my question, if you can't find an answer to the question, that's fine. But I really want to try and see this, because this could be a moment here that's memorable. Go back to a moment in your life where you faced adversity. Like, it could be interpersonal, it can be intrapersonal, it could be whatever. Just any type of adversity. Because, I mean, like, I don't know. I think, like, when I look at you and when I see you, I think, okay, like, you know, he's had it. Like, I don't want to say you've lived an easy life, but you make it seem like you have. Because I think if you have things that have hurt you in the past, or at moments that you faced adversity in the past, you kind of just brush it off your shoulders and you move forward.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I like to try and be like it, but yeah,
was there a moment that like things got rough?
There's a couple moments that come to mind. The big one would probably
and share
be,
as much or as little as you'd like.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into detail because I really hate pointing names at people. The big one to me was when I found out I was being cheated on with my girlfriend. Yeah, that one really, with my ex, that one really sucked.
Was this a college ex? Was this
This was a high school ex.
Okay.
This was a high school ex, but we were dating for several years, and found out she had been cheating on me the entirety of it. So that really blew. Still working to recover from that one. To be completely honest, I don't do relationships because of that. So yeah, that sucked. But that's a trust issue. To be completely honest with you, that's a trust thing. That's kind of, to your point. I do like to push things aside. Move on to what's next. I try not to dwell on stuff, but like, dude, that one hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a trust thing. It's very difficult for me to trust people openly. Like, I'm gonna be friends with everyone. I'm gonna try to be a friend with everybody. I'm happy to be nice.
You're a very friendly guy, so yeah.
But I don't open up to many people. I don't know if anyone listening notices that. It's very difficult for me to open up to someone. Like, I'm happy to be your friend, but most people, even at Hitting the Field, probably don't know a whole lot about me. I don't like to talk about all that. So,
is it because there are trust issues, or is it because, you know, that's just who you were before?
Oh no, it's absolutely a trust issue thing. I used to be so trusting. And that sounds so cliche,
like,
but
to a fault.
To a fault, yeah. I mean, I would tell people everything, and now there's a very, very, very tight window of people that I would tell anything to, and it's maybe three people, maybe three people. So that comes from mostly that one incident, but like, I just don't want people to use stuff that I talk about, and it gets spun into, he does this, or he can't do this, or all this, like, and I'm struggling to come up with details. I'm just spitballing.
No.
But like, that to me is my greatest detriment, is trusting people.
Or fear.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I don't, that for me is probably the hardest thing as a person, is to trust someone. And
don't believe me. Yeah. I, like, even though I come across as that, like, I'm a very open book. There are parts about me that I don't like to talk about with people.
Right.
And I think everyone has that. But that doesn't necessarily define us. Like, you're not defined by that period in your life.
Right.
And you live like that. You've moved past it. And even though you say that you haven't moved fully past it, you have grown to work past it. And we all grow to work past our struggles, for lack of a better term. But do you think that do you notice a change like over the years since this has happened? Have you noticed a change maybe?
Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that I am, I'm willing to talk about it if people really, if someone that I'm close to wants to talk about it, I'm willing to talk about stuff. But no, in the fact that, I've always tried to at least seem like a happy-go-lucky person. Like nothing in the world could bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very, very social guy, so that aspect of me will never change. I'll always have that initial wall, I guess, so to speak. That'll always be me. But it's definitely changed. I used to be, in the year or so after I broke up with her, like very, very much closed walls all around me. I would not talk about any of that.
That can be a dark time. Especially in high school.
Yeah, I was very much, and this is going to seem weird, very much to myself. Don't get me wrong, I still talked with people, I would hang out with people,
but it was different.
I would not tell anyone anything.
Yeah.
Like there was span of a year and a half, 2 years probably, where I just, that includes freshman year of college. I did not talk to anyone about stuff like that. And then now, like I said, I'm at least willing. Heck, I never thought I'd be on the air talking about it.
Neither did I.
Right? Like, never thought I'd get to that point. So that's another step right there.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you don't need to, like, the idea of a good friend, in my opinion, is someone that is there. So, like, my senior year of high school, I did this assignment. It was our capstone course. So it was a year-long project. And we were working on a project about empathy. Like, that was at least my thing. And empathy, the definition of empathy is, I'm going to paraphrase here, but it's basically looking at someone and understanding them regardless of anything. And I think, like, when I look for friendships, when I look for the people I want to surround myself with, that's what I'm looking for, is empathy. And, you don't need any explanations. You don't need nothing of that. And you don't need to prod things out of them. You just need to understand. And as long as there's that understanding, it can be unspoken, it can be spoken. It just, depends on the relationship. But as long as you have that understanding with people, you're good. At least in my book.
I couldn't agree more with that.
And like, the thing is, like, maybe it's just we think the same way. Like, you and I think very similar.
We honestly do.
We really do. And I don't know if it's the, just the similar upbringing or the tourist gang or something like that, but we just think along the same wavelength. I can feel.
No, I agree with that 100%.
And maybe I didn't know why you had this wall, and it doesn't change anything between us. Like,
right, no, of course.
Like, either, like, but knowing that, like, I didn't need to know that in order for our friendship to be where it is. But now that I know that,
it makes sense.
It does. It makes sense. And I respect you more because of it. Maybe not respect you more, but because I don't know if, like, because I respect you a lot before. It's not like my respect is growing, but, like,
no, I get what you're saying.
But that's the thing is that's what's so great about this and college and just growing up, is you learn things about people. And that, as journalists, that's such a huge, you just start talking and you start figuring things out. And it's a very people-oriented thing. I'm a very people-oriented person. You're a very people-oriented.
Oh, very much so.
And I don't know. I'm almost at a loss for words. I feel like I'm talking in circles.
No, dude.
It's one of the first times where I really don't know what to say.
Yeah,
you probably take it away.
Yeah, like I said, it's just you're the one running the show. I don't really know where to go from this, but it's just it's tough.
Yeah,
but to your point, you move on,
so you
grow, and you find new friends.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that story.
Absolutely.
Let's bring this to a lighter subject now. Let's go from let's just go straight off to the
I love the roller coaster ride. I love the roller coaster ride.
All right. Let's play a game.
Okay.
It's a rapid fire game.
Oh boy.
All right, and then if I feel like stopping, I'll stop. But
slow brain. Let's go for it.
All right.
My slow brain.
All right. Favorite artist.
Favorite artist? I don't really like art, to be completely honest with you.
Like music artist.
Music. I'm like, who looks at paintings nowadays? No, favorite music artist? Definitely Kenny Chesney.
Kenny Chesney. Favorite Kenny Chesney song?
Probably Beer in Mexico.
All right. Favorite color?
Green. But not a regular green. I'm talking like a forest green.
Okay. Favorite number?
Number? Ooh, 226.
Why?
There is actually a story with this.
Did you bat 226?
I did not just make this number up.
All right.
So I was out in San Francisco with my family. We were on a family vacation. And we landed at about 2:30 a.m. San Francisco time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
226. No, that's not
No,
it.
that's
Okay,
not it.
okay,
That's not
okay,
it.
okay.
We get
Excuse
in.
me for trying to tell your
we're
story.
getting there.
Go ahead.
So we are all exhausted. We're frustrated, and we're about to ride the shuttle to get to the bag check or baggage claim, and the shuttle breaks down, and that's another hour, and then we finally get to baggage.
Another
claim.
hour?
Yeah,
In the middle of the night?
I'm
Oh my
spitballing
goodness.
numbers. I don't know the exact time. I'm spitballing.
That's scary,
But
though.
we finally get our baggage. We get our rental car, and we get to the hotel. And everyone is so annoyed. And me, being the sarcastic guy I am, we get into the elevator. My dad comes in with the room key, and he's like, I'm like, Dad, what room are we? And he goes, 226. I'm like, thank God, my favorite number. Nice. And everyone just lost it, dying from that one stupid comment.
So
And
you just picked it one day.
just randomly, that's our room number was 226, and I cracked that joke, and since then, 226 has been a really funny joke within our family.
226.
226.
Shout out 226.
It's really
Hashtag
funny.
226.
I'm going to go up to room number 226 and
There
Nicholson
you
and see
go.
whose it is.
Yeah, ooh.
Watch it be Browns.
Oh my goodness. If that is it, though, that'd be scary.
That would be scary.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That was a fun story.
Right?
Favorite vacation spot?
Oh, I'm between three.
Okay.
So my family always grew up as a travel family. You know me, I love going out and traveling. I'm between Yellowstone National Park,
Okay.
Yosemite National Park, and Glacier National Park up in Montana.
Okay.
If I had to pick, I'll probably take Yellowstone.
Okay. Favorite animal?
Ooh, I would go a shark, but if we're talking real specific, I'd go Mako shark.
Mako shark.
Yeah, that thing is fast, and it just looks cool.
No wonder your brother majored in marine biology.
See, it's the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together.
They
a little
are.
bit.
They
Starting to
are.
come together a little bit.
Mako shark.
Look it up if you
What
get a chance.
is a
It's
Mako
actually
shark?
it's really cool.
Spell
looking.
it for me. Spell it for me.
Mako.
Mako shark. Okay. The Mako shark.
It's actually extremely cool. It's like a little great white.
It looks like a swordfish.
It's it's like a mini great white.
Yeah, it kind of... Look at his face.
It's really cool looking.
Or her face, excuse me.
This is 2020, dude.
What is
Relax.
gender?
This is 2020. Let's keep
Aw,
it easy.
these are actually kind of cute.
It's like really...
Yeah.
And I want to catch one and eat one. I'm going to be real
When
with
did you first learn about a Mako shark?
I've always been an animal guy, so probably 4th or 5th
Are you a
grade.
big Shark Week guy?
Oh, dude, I used to binge watch Shark Week so bad. Now I don't usually have the time for it anymore.
Yeah.
But I binge watched the heck out of Shark Week back when Shaq was on
Shaq
it. Oh, Shaq Week, dude, all about it. That was
You
fun.
can really put Shaq on anything and it's great.
Oh, whatever you do, you look at Icy Hot, those commercials wouldn't be funny at all, and it's still not even funny. But the fact that it's Shaq, it's like,
It's amazing.
yeah.
Favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete? That's a tough one for me. There's so many, but if we're going like all time, I'd probably have to go with the stereotypical Michael Jordan.
Why?
Just again, it comes back to a love of basketball, and I'm not an NBA guy, so I don't care about his time with
But
Chicago.
you're like a UNC, like...
I care about how much he gave to the sport, and
Okay.
to me that is. But you could look at several people and be the same way. I mean, you look at what Tom Brady gives to football.
Yeah.
I respect the heck out of him. I don't like the Patriots, but I can't deny that greatness, and I can't deny that respect for
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Best hero moment growing up playing sports?
For me,
Yes.
so this is I actually haven't ever told anyone about this, but I
right.
love this story.
Let's do it.
This is way back. This was like probably 4th grade.
Okay.
I was playing soccer, not for the sport.
2007.
Yeah. I'm playing soccer just with a rec team, and I'm in defense. And for whatever reason, the goalie steps out of the box,
Mm-hmm.
and the other team takes the shot and goes. Let me try and set this up. I know y'all can't see it, but it rolls over the goalie's foot, which is outstretched. So it slows it down, but the goalie slips, so he's down. And I sprint to get this ball because it's rolling towards the goal. And maybe a foot, 2 feet before it hits the goal, I get it and just kick it out of bounds. And that to me was like,
wow,
so cool. I mean, it's a nothing moment, but for whatever reason that stuck with me. Like,
did you always play defense?
I did. I was a defender.
That's so weird.
I was like, for whatever reason that stuck with me. I'm like, man, I just did that. I'm proud of myself.
That's so weird.
Were you a defender?
Yes.
Were you right or left?
Right.
Oh my goodness, dude.
That's scary.
This is getting kind of ridiculous,
really,
guys.
Like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm feeling.
Got me the chills.
Yeah.
The heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies for sure. That was a cool story.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much at the end of the day, but it was just for whatever reason.
I remember we were playing a tournament, in like Spring, Texas, North Houston, and it was pouring this day. We were still playing, and the fields were muddy, super muddy. And by this time, I was so young that we weren't even playing 11s yet. So I think it was 8s, and I cleared a ball, and it wasn't a big clearance, but it cleared enough to where, because it was skidding, I was able to like skid it off. And then my striker was able to knock it in.
Yo.
And so I got an assist from right back, and I was like,
that is big time.
I was like, I just did that. Like,
that's big time.
And it was
from
the last game of the
defense?
tournament. Like, but I mean, look, the field's not that big.
But still, that doesn't happen.
I got some help.
But that still doesn't happen very often.
Hey, you take
very
when you play in the back, you take your moral victories.
When you get some sort of respect, you take it.
Oh yes, for sure. So yeah. Favorite moment ever, sports wise.
Oh,
is it Chris Jenkins? Is it not? It can be Chris Jenkins.
That is so tough.
Or okay. Let me narrow this down. Favorite live sports event you've ever attended.
Favorite live sports event.
Yes.
Okay. I do have to think this one through because I've been to several live events, but honestly, I don't think anything will ever trump the War on I-4 years ago. When Mike Hughes runs that.
I've got a reservation for 6 in the Cabanas.
I mean, that's storybook.
Yeah.
That is storybook. That I've been to will never top that. It just won't. That is, with my love for UCF sports, the hatred for USF sports, and the perfect blend of a perfect season on the line. One of the coolest things I've ever seen.
It's crazy that all of this has happened since we've been here.
Right. I mean, we've literally seen the program take that next step.
It's a great time to be a Knight. So the last question I'm going to ask you right now, I'm going to give you, so you have to pick 2 people.
Okay.
One person in your family, your blood family, the people that your given family,
the core family,
and one person from your chosen family. So a friend that you consider family that you believe has really shaped you and affected you, helped you out, like inspired you moving forward. So
just pick 2.
One from your given family and one from your chosen family.
So from my given family, it's hard not to pick my twin. Just because, again,
that's a relationship you have.
That's a kind of bond that not many people can say they have.
Yes.
So that to me is one of the coolest things. So that's an easy choice for me. Ryan, that's an easy choice.
Shout out Ryan.
That's 3 shout-outs. Now,
yeah.
Chosen family is a little bit tricky because I do have a lot of close friends that have really helped me out. But
look, I say one because I don't want you to say, every single person. But
no, I can narrow it down.
If there's a couple.
There is one that has...
like one that stands out.
Andy Letterly.
Shout out Andy.
Really crazy. I grew up... When I went to middle school, right? I'm talking like 1st, 2nd grade. So really elementary school.
Yes.
We became really close friends. My brother, Ryan, Andy, and I. And then our families became really close friends. So I know Andy's parents, the Letterly parents, Patrick Letterly, and
Shout out
Emily
Patrick.
Letterly.
Shout out Emily.
So our families became really close. And then I believe it was right at the end of 4th grade, they moved to Kentucky. And I still see them every summer because that friendship has stood. That's awesome. We go down to Sarasota, Florida every summer for a week. Nice. And I get to see them and hang out with them for a week every single year. I talk to them, not all the time, but I talk to them a lot. But realistically, I say Andy because he's the connection to the family. He's how I met the family. But I could say that entire family is my family.
Yeah. I love that. I love those stories. It's especially because the way I see it is, in a way, Hitting the Field is a family.
Oh, absolutely.
And we didn't we choose this family. Like, Hitting the Field's not an obligation that we all have to meet.
No.
Hitting the Field is a chosen family. And the way I see it is this: if you are a family member to someone in my family, then you're family. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like when I saw like last week we talked with Chris, and Chris was talking about his mom, and I got to meet his mom, and I was so excited to meet Chris's mom because, you know, Chris was talking like, you know,
she's like the nicest person.
She really, shout out Stacy Wolf, but she was
truly
fantastic.
One of the nicest people I've ever met.
Love Chris, love his mom. They were just they're some of the nicest people ever. So like, but like I got that reaction from just seeing her. And I was like, you are good people, and I wanted to like impress her. Like I didn't want to let her down, which is weird because we've only had that one interaction.
I've only ever met her that one time.
But she was the kind of person that's like, okay, like if you are Chris, like you're Chris's mom, Chris is in my family, you're in my family. And the way I see it is, well, you know, like I grow a sense of admiration, respect, not just for you, because you're my brother.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I mean, we might be.
We may be twins,
maybe switch
guys.
to birth. Maybe switch to birth.
We may be twins. It's a little weird.
But like, just hearing that story makes me feel really happy for you, and you know, for the fan. Like,
it's a great thing.
We're just trying to breed positivity here.
Yeah,
like that's it. And
it's a great thing.
No, and because like I pride myself on that, because my given family is very small, and I don't have a lot of my given family, so that's why I ask, you know, pick one person in your given family, obviously, and then pick someone in your chosen family, because the chosen family, especially from someone that lives states away and doesn't have access, doesn't have free, it's just as if not more important.
You got to surround yourself with people.
Exactly.
Like that. You have to be able to, or else, you know,
you can't
box yourself
yeah,
in.
Exactly. And Kyle Partain, you are that for me.
I appreciate it. I can say the same for you.
And
absolutely.
We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. Like some of the coolest things that we've done, some of the funniest memories that we've had come through Hitting the Field, come through the work that we've done together. And it's things like that will stay with me for a very long time.
Could not agree more.
And I'll ask this one last question.
Yep, go for it.
2030. Wow. Where do you see yourself in 2030?
Man, that's a good question.
10 years from now.
I truly don't know, because I don't even know where I'll be. I don't know where I see myself in 3 months.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Like I
is
10 years is a long time.
Where would you like to see yourself in 10 years? If you got total control over everything in your life for the next 10 years, what would you like to be?
I would probably be, in South Florida on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm. Like Fort Myers area?
Fort Myers, Sarasota, that all, even down to Naples, that whole stretch.
Beach bum.
I would have a boat on, or I would have a house on the bay with a boat and water access and a family. Ideally, maybe a family, maybe not kids, but a wife. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I feel about kids. They're loud.
They're loud.
Yeah, that's another story for another time. And I would be broadcasting for basketball.
Nice.
College basketball would be my broadcast. Nice. That, to me, I don't need a whole lot. I can have a shack on the water. I don't care. But if I have water access, you will not find a happier person. If I have a boat and access to the water. I don't need a whole lot. Small house, a wife, a good job that I like doing. I don't care about the money. If I like doing it, that's what I care about.
Yeah.
I want to live.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to this.
Yeah.
So 2030, I'm gonna come down to Southwest Florida. We'll crack a beer or two on the water.
Yes, sir.
Get the beach.
Yes, sir.
Just do nothing.
That's what I like to hear.
That's it.
Hey, please hold me to that.
I will. Every year it's gonna pop up and I'm like, hey,
hey, how's this going?
Hey,
you any closer?
Yeah.
You got that shack yet?
Like, wait.
I'm still waiting for that beer.
Yeah, I mean, some days. Look, I've always wanted to. Like, how far away did you live from the beach growing up?
About 30 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, I lived like about an hour. So I wasn't like a huge beach person. Very similar to here. Like, we live about an hour from the beach, but I've always wanted, like, the beach. I went there. The last time I was at the beach was for my birthday. And I was like, I love the beach.
Dude,
but I don't go to the beach enough.
If I didn't have stuff to do over the weekends, I would be going every weekend. Honestly. But I just...
We're going to find a weekend
between work and school, I can't go over the weekends.
We're going to find a weekend we're going to go.
I could not agree more. Because that is my happy place, being on the water.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. I'm going to hold you to it. All right, KP. This is a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing. This is I love doing this. I love doing this. It really makes me feel closer to my family here at Hitting the Field. And I know that you are a huge part of it. Might I add that you are you are a huge part of Hitting the Field. I can't wait to see what's for you. Whatever whatever success you have will make it feels like my own almost honestly.
Hey man, I appreciate that.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm excited to see what you're doing. I know you got big things coming.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
But the thing is, if I eat, everybody eats. That's how it works. Yep. That's how it works here at Hitting the Field.
Yep.
Some other things about Hitting the Field, how it works here. We do a show every Monday at noon in the Nicholson studio here. We'll be back on the air Monday at noon, talking a lot. This is a very busy weekend. It doesn't seem like it is very busy, but we're going to cover it all. We're going to cover Combine. We're going to cover NBA basketball. We're going to cover the beginning of spring training. Why would you laugh at that?
You said NBA basketball.
No, I did not. I said basketball.
I swear I heard basketball.
No, I would not say that. No. There was definitely a B there, Kyle. Thank you.
I'll give this one a listen just for the last 5 minutes.
NBA basketball. I mean, yeah. You'll finally listen to one. Thank goodness.
There's a method to the madness. I wanted to be surprised. There's a method to the madness.
All right, so we'll be covering some NBA basketball and some spring training and even some Champions League and MLS. MLS starts this weekend too, so we'll be getting the full fix in, so you definitely don't want to miss that. We'll also be on the Hitting the Field podcast. Combine is this weekend. We have a Combine preview with John Whitley and Chris Wolf, so go and check that out as well. We also have another podcast, Kyle, and we're about to record in a couple minutes, but it will go out before this episode goes out. We'll be talking a little bit about college basketball, and we'll preview because we're entering crunch time. You know?
It is.
This is March.
It's March time, guys.
It's almost March, but you get the point. You get the point. And Kyle, I'm going to let you promo what you've been going on with Might I Add, because you're here, so you might as well.
Might I Add, it's we got some good things coming up. We have very own Caleb Burge going to be on the next episode, and I'm really, really excited because we've talked a lot baseball and softball lately. We have not given the women's basketball team the love that they should be getting, and there will be a really good talk about women's. I got some ideas up the sleeves. Get ready. If you want to listen to what I want to say is our best spring team, take a listen. It's going to be really fun.
Very, very, very fun stuff going on, might I add. So, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to catch all of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Hitting the Field. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and be on the lookout for us at Apple Podcasts as well. If you want to listen to Hitting the Crew, Hitting the Field podcast, and the very new Take Me Out to the podcast, our baseball-centric podcast hosted by Johnny Jackson himself. So, again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Kyle, for coming on the show today. And we'll catch you on the flip side.